Hi everybody and welcome to another video tutorial, acrylic pouring tutorial. In this video I'm going to be showing you two different techniques, swiping and then smashing, and at the end I will show there's a thing of the complete video, of the complete painting. I'm focusing on the beginning here with mixing of the paint. Okay, so what I've done is added paint, and then I'm doing a 1-part paint to almost like 2 parts of pouring medium. I skip through the black because you can't really see what happens, the consistency of the paint. Okay, so this is why I'm going on to a lighter color. Add the pouring medium and mix it in before you start thinning it down with water. Depending on what country you're from, it depends on what pouring medium is available to you. I know that there overseas it's Floetrol, or there's an Aussie Floetrol. Okay, I want to show you the consistency when I lift up the stick. It's not a very good example, but when it hits that paint, can you see that it's not very thick, okay, but it does flow in a stream. It must be able to hold its shape when it goes onto the canvas. So just imagine that. Just imagine thinking of your paint when it's on the canvas. So I'm adding a drop of silicone in some of the colors here. And when I mean a drop, I just mean a drop, and not in every color either. And then you just stir those in. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up, but this I'm showing you the consistency of the white paint. So this is a white acrylic paint and it's been thinned with water. And I'm spreading it over the canvas. When you spread your paint, just hold that palette knife flat. Okay, the minute you angle that palette knife, you basically are scraping the paint off the canvas or scraping it into the canvas. Okay. This is quite a nice example when you tilt the paint of the consistency of that background paint. Can you see it's also not running very fast? It's holding its shape. It's almost the same consistency as what's in your cup. And that's acrylic paint mixed with water, thinned with water. Make sure, I'm just going around the edges. It gives you a nice clean edge around the edges when you do this, especially when your paint drips over. I don't know why the camera keeps going out of focus. Okay, so just again showing you, what I'm doing is tilting off excess paint and just smoothing out the background. If you have too much paint on your canvas, it cracks, which is why I tilt off. And make sure your canvas is level when you put it down. Okay, it must be level when it dries, otherwise it's going to flow off and you'll lose your painting. Okay, so I've laid down. These are the colors that I've mixed. I don't know why, sorry, the camera keeps going out of focus. So I've just mixed the colors. Now I'm pouring on the bottom, just in steady strip, in steady kind of rivers. That is just the light that's reflecting on the end of that canvas. Okay, you don't need too much paint. The secret for me to this is that there's not too much paint, because you want it to be able to just work with the paint that you have got there. If you've got too much paint, you have to start wiping off and spreading. The more that you overwork this, the less definition you're going to have in those cells when you start swiping it. I think there I was just adding a little bit of black. Okay, so I don't want too much black. Your black is almost just to give you a little bit of depth and a contrast. You don't want to overwhelm everything with that black. All right, and just a little bit over the front top. I didn't put too much because I want to kind of keep a contrast. Okay, now I speed up here because it's far away. You can't see what's going on. But I just wanted to give you a bit of that camera. Just wanted to give you a bit of continuity. Again, remember when you are spreading this paint, hold your palette knife flat. The minute you angle that palette knife, you'll see that you just start losing the definition. And all you're doing is skimming the top, that paint. You're skimming the colored paint over the white paint. Okay, so I've slowed it down because it comes closer to the camera. You're going to start seeing what I'm doing. Okay, just adding a bit more paint. So you can see when the paint is on here, it's not so stiff that it doesn't move when you're skimming it. So it does allow the surface and the paint, colored paint, to work together. If it was too thin, it would just run everywhere. So it's got to be able to hold its shape. Isn't that yellow stunning? Eh? Didn't it come up beautifully there? Every now and then, just wipe off that palette knife. You can see that I just wipe it on the edge of the paper, on that paper that's on the table. Okay, can you see that palette knife is flat? It is so important to keep that flat. Right, so it's coming closer to the camera. You can see a bit better what's going on. So it's just literally just taking that color and skimming it over the white paint. Vary your palette knife strokes, okay? So you don't want everything to be the same. And try to keep some of the white showing. You want that white in the background. I'll show you why when you start smashing it with the balloon. Okay, so here I'm using the torch. It's just a blowtorch or not a heat gun. You don't want a gun because then like the heat gun, because what it does then is moves the paint. Okay, this is just breaking the surface of the paint to allow whatever's underneath to allow things to come through. Okay, here I am smashing the balloon. This is just a balloon that's been blown up. And every now and again, I just also wipe the bottom of the balloon. It's quite nice to have that paint on the balloon because it does give you different colors and different angle. When you move it around, you get different colors going into the colors that are on the canvas. Just wipe it every now and then because you don't want it to become muddy. Also, when you lift it up, just every now and then, just give a little bit of a flick. It helps, it gives quite nice effects. Okay, just speeding this up because you don't want to sit here throughout the whole process. Okay, also when you are dipping, just move the balloon around, okay, so that it's not all the same.